fight for my life because this woman wanted to kill me. The only thing I could do was to bite her. I fear what I'm able to do while I'm sleepwalking.
And there he was, the devil. He wasn't having any horns or anything, it was just like a normal human being.
I had this nightmare some months ago. I think it was March, before the coronavirus. I was living at the moment in Melbourne with my best friend. We were staying at a friend's house, and my best friend and I were sharing the same room and the same bed. And then there was some other rooms, and his mom was there, his aunt, and himself. So it was a full house. But I received a call from someone, and I got anxious because of that. Like, I was sad and anxious because of this call. It's just some personal situation. So when I went to bed, I was not feeling really well. And my nightmare, I was walking in a house and I entered a room. There was a bed and there was a woman in that bed. I couldn't see her face, actually. I could only see her hair. She didn't look like anyone in my real life, like anyone I've ever seen. But I felt this instant connection with this person. I felt that I knew her, like an instant love. I felt like I knew her my whole life. She was like my mom or a sister or a very close friend. So I sat down in the bed next to her and I went to give her a hug. And then I felt this shift in these feelings. And I stopped loving her because she wanted to kill me. I could feel that she wanted to kill me. And in this dream, everything was very about the emotions that I was feeling. I felt that she was no longer a good person and she was evil. I don't know why, there was no reason. I just felt like my life was in danger and I was at risk of dying in that moment. That I have to fight for my life because this woman wanted to kill me. So I tried to fight, but I couldn't because I was I couldn't move my arms. She was holding me very tight, and I couldn't move my legs for some reason either. So I started screaming as loud as I could. It didn't help because nobody helped me or we were just alone in the dark. The only thing I could do was to bite her, and I did. So I bit her in the wrist because she was hugging me maybe like this. So I just bite her in the wrist, strong as I could, just with all my strength. Like even my teeth were hurting, and then I woke up and I looked around the bedroom. I was very disoriented, very confused about what was happening. I didn't understand, and I saw that I was biting my best friend, who I was like in the same bed with. She was next to me and she was telling me like, calm down, calm down. She was shouting, just calm down, come on, come on, come on. Because we were in a full house. I was a guest in a house, so and I was screaming like someone was killing me. I bit her so hard that she was bleeding, and she had all my teeth marked in her. It was like her wrist, like this. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I was a bit traumatized by it because it was so intense and it felt so real. I've never felt that I have to fight for my life, ever. So I've never been in that situation. So it was all in my mind, but it felt extremely real. And I still have like very vivid images of it in my mind. And also I felt like I was crazy because I hurt my friend a lot. Like it was hurting her, the wrist was hurting her a lot. She couldn't do certain tasks. So I felt very, I felt like I was the danger. I was the real danger because I was attacking her in my sleep, which is very scary. And I sleepwalk usually, well not usually, but sometimes I sleepwalk, and I fear what I'm able to do while I'm sleepwalking.
Wow, this nightmare, this is a classic example of what Carl Jung, the famous psychiatrist, called the shadow self. In Jungian psychology, The shadow is an unconscious aspect of the personality that the conscious ego doesn't identify in itself. Or more simply, the shadow is the unknown side of oneself. Some would say the dark side, the Darth Vader to your Anakin Skywalker. Fighting dreams most commonly indicate some kind of inner struggle or fighting with some aspect of yourself. Perhaps there is a part of herself that is demanding to be recognized and addressed. The fact that this woman is unfamiliar looking, yet seems very energetically familiar, that offers up compelling evidence this girl has suddenly met her shadow self. As this nightmare was essentially a fight to the death, this would suggest a refusal or a reluctance to acknowledge the shadow self. And as the woman in this dream wanted to kill her, I would speculate this to be some kind of self-sabotaging behavior. She mentioned a fear of being betrayed in her waking life, so clearly trust is an issue for this girl. In the nightmare, she wanted to hug this woman, who then tried to kill her, so perhaps she doesn't trust herself, and she may in fact be her own worst enemy. Now, this is the Newtonian explanation of what may be going on for her. Another possibility exists. Now here's the existential version. This girl could be very sensitive to other people's energies. Some people are very energetically sensitive. Psychology calls it empathy. Spirituality calls it being psychic. And as she was staying in somebody else's house, she may have been picking up on the energy or vibes of somebody else in the house. We have to consider all possibilities because nobody knows exactly what a dream is.
When I woke up from this particular bad dream, I woke up to a reality where I saw what was happening in my dream. Usually when I'm having a bad dreams, I just force myself to wake up. I was sleeping on the right side of my bed, and then when I woke up from the nightmare, I looked to the left side of my bed, and there he was, the devil. Yeah, the actual devil, smiling at me with all his teeth out, and then I can tell the laugh means you belong to me, you are not going anywhere. That actually scared me, seeing the devil beside me in my room, laughing at me on my own bed. I got so scared. But when I saw him in my dream, he wasn't having any horns or anything. It was just like a normal human being that was sleeping on the same bed as me. I knew in me that this guy was the devil. It was so scary. I woke up finally, then I ran out of my room. I went to sleep in my mom's room. And then in the morning, everything was normal. And that was the first time I had a dream about the devil, the actual devil. The second time it happened was like 4 months after the first event. My mom wasn't around, so I couldn't go to her room to sleep in her room. I was so scared that, but then I couldn't run to my mom's room anymore, so I just asked to stay inside my room and figure it out. I did. I just stayed there for like 10 seconds, and then I calmed myself down, and then I woke up. And that is my story too. I hope you guys like it. Bye.
The psychology interpretation is that the devil represents some aspect of his personality that he views as being very negative. Quite often, the devil or a demon can symbolize an addiction or an unwanted behavior. Alternatively, the devil can be associated with guilt over a great secret. It's a big thing that I'm hanging on to, so it's manifested into a devil in my subconscious. Now, the spiritual interpretation is that he was actually visited by a demon bent on tormenting his mortal soul. I mean, hey, the Christian Bible talks extensively of demons and their nefarious plans for us and how they torture us. Almost every religion speaks of evil spirits and gods, and the only way to fortify yourself is to become pure and righteous, to absolve yourself of sin and to become close to God, who's the only one that can protect you from these demons. Kind of interesting though that he made the comment the dream ended after the demon had finished with him. I wonder what it was doing.
Next on the Dark Dreamers.
One of the monstrous style spirit boogeyman, like nightmares. Like you can hear these noises coming from the living room, like these growling noises.
I'm breathing like a mannequin, you feel me? This is the only nightmare that I've ever had where I knew I wasn't getting away.